Okay, so I'm going to be super honest. I was sitting around going, okay, what am I going to do this weekly video on? Usually the inspiration, it just happens. And I'm like, this is what I get to talk about. And it wasn't coming, it wasn't coming, it wasn't coming. And then I thought, you know what? You just get to be honest. So I'm going to just share and be honest. And hopefully my honesty of where I am in my own being and my own life will support you. Last week I did a video, I think it was called like poison, the invisible poison. And we talked about the meteorite of fear, control, and judgment that is going on in the world right now. Hold that thought. My daughter's home and my puppy's going to want to go outside. So we talked about that. And I got a lot of emails or a few emails from people saying this really lands. Okay, so this is just where I've been. I have had something going on with my body for like a month and it's starting to wear me down. I've been really thinking about this term pattern interrupt. Someone brought it up about something and I was like, yeah, that's amazing. So my entire life right now is a giant pattern interrupt. We moved from San Francisco to Phoenix 4 months ago. Giant pattern interrupt. I'm talking like the same streets that I drove on for the last 22 years are no longer there. The same grocery store I went to, taking my daughter to school, all of those things that you get used to, those routines, seeing the same people, even at the grocery store, right? You see the same clerks and all that. I mean, we're talking massive pattern interrupt coming from the coast to the desert. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Plus, my husband and I have just been going through some stuff like Venus. I don't know much about astrology, but I know there was something going on with Venus. Relationships have been up and been tested. And, we've been hit with like, are you meeting the shadows of relationship? Okay. So, and I got COVID. I mean, I just got like hit super hard since I've been here. And now I have had this thing going on with my body for a month. Now, the reason I'm sharing, I'm perimenopausal. That's all I'll say. So I'm like, today I'm going, what am I doing? Like, why am I not reaching out to a naturopath to get my blood work done? Hello? Like, I am like such a warrior with things and an Aries, like fire, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go. What's next? What's next? What's next? And it's like, hello, pay attention, body, what's happening? So I'm going to make an appointment with a naturopath. But the reason I'm sharing all this with you is because here's the thing. The reality is, I'm like, this pattern interrupt is kicking my ass big time. And I started seeing a Reiki massage therapist. I started seeing a shamanic practitioner that's local here. I work with another practitioner that I've worked with for 8 years. Today I'm going to go and sit at a retreat center, and they have an open like meditation talk. So I'm like doing the things, right? I'm like doing the things, one foot in front of the other. And I'm like, what? This isn't shifting. This feeling that I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm having nightmares. And nightmares, if you have nightmares, let me tell you, nightmares are your biggest teacher. They're freaky and we don't like them and they rattle us. But a nightmare, I should do a whole video on dreams. Maybe I will. A nightmare is something that is a huge teacher. Definitely pay attention if you're having nightmares. So the guides and spirit are just like boom, boom, boom. But here's the thing. There's a part of me that wants to lie down. I'm currently in an apartment as we're looking for a house in Phoenix. So there's my bed right over there. Right there. So we're making it work in this apartment as we're looking. But part of me wants to go lay down on that bed and go to sleep. But guess what? I've been taking meditation rests, which I've been doing for years. I take 20 minutes a day and I do a meditation rest. And it's life-changing. But here's the thing. There's a part of me that wants to feel sorry. There's a part of me that wants to feel sad. And I'm feeling all those things and I'm moving through them and I'm getting the support that I need. But what I want to share with you is I'm also running a business. I'm also running a family. I'm also a wife and a friend. And I have many clients and many students. And why there's a part of me that is allowing myself to take time and rest I cannot and will not take my eye off of the ball, meaning my medicine is service. So I just had a session with a client and I literally just felt like so much better in my body. Like I was like, oh, as much as I served her, she served me a million times over. I was like, this is because I got to get out of my uncomfortability and serve her. So no matter how uncomfortable I am, I get to sit, I get to show up. I still get to show up. There may be a day or two where I'm going to be like, I'm going to rest. Right now, my daughter's on spring break, so I've taken a few days here and there, but I'm not taking my energetic eye off the ball. And I'm showing up to where and when I'm needed to show up. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because there's a lot going on the planet right now. And I'm seeing a lot of people just want to check out. Just want to check out. It's like it's a lot. We're navigating a lot. And while it's fine to check out a day or here once in a while, right? Or even take a week, go sit on a beach. But checking out in the game of life right now, or checking out from things that you've built, or checking out from your kids completely, I'm not talking about self-care. Self-care is a whole other thing, right? You got to take care of yourself. I'm talking about checking out. There's an energy right now that's like, I can freaking feel it. Come. It's seductive. Check out, watch some TV, drink some wine. I don't drink, but drink something, smoke some pot, whatever it is. And there's nothing wrong with that on occasion. It's when it's got the energy of checking out. Like I'm finding myself on Facebook more than ever. So like, I'm like, what am I doing? I just literally did nothing for 20 minutes and went into a checked out zone. So be mindful. Be mindful. Self-care is one thing, but if you are checking out, really look into that energy because that energy has a heaviness. It's got a heaviness. And I'm honestly up against it right now because there's something pulling and I'm working on it. So if you're feeling that heaviness and that pull to check out, come back to the present. What is important in my life? What do I get to show up with? Who bring in that warrior fire energy. Because it can be really easy to drop the ball on things right now. Really easy. Not pay a bill or miss a deadline at work or, whatever. Focusing and coming in and taking care of yourself at the same time and bringing in that warrior energy, that fire. It's medicine. And here's another thing. The last thing I'll say is be of service. Be of service. Especially those of you that are feeling called, which you are feeling called, especially if you're watching me, you're feeling called to be of service. You're feeling whatever that means. And it might be like, I'm being called to be of service to myself so that I can figure out what I want in the world. Like I've been serving my family and my job for the last 40 years. So maybe that's being a volunteer. Maybe that's being out and being a light in the world. And then some of you are being called to other forms of service. Service comes in a number of ways. And when we're of service to ourselves, we're of service to the world, right? And it's not selfish. That's not the kind I'm talking about, right? Right now, we're talking about not indulging in the checkout, that heaviness, that spaciness. Woo! Okay, so if you're landing with any of this, write me an email. I'd love to hear your takeaways from this, and we can support each other right now in balancing self-care and not going into that checked out, wanting to check out place. There's a lot going on, and some of us want to go into our little hole. That's fine for a time, but then coming out and meeting what it is that we get to meet within ourselves, within our family, within our businesses, within our neighbors, whatever it is. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and I will see you on the next video.